Hello, folks. Welcome to Old Ass Movie Review. I'm Dave. That's Scott. And we're here today to review the 1932 version of A Christmas Carol.
Yes. On hey, before we get started with this, welcome to OAMR, Old Ass Movie Reviews. We are in our Christmas round of movies. We just did Elf, and now as Dave said, 1932's Christmas Carol. This is available on HBO Max if you haven't. Watch it. I dig this version. I think I've seen it before.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember much of it.
Right.
Only complaints I have is a little bit of the pacing. Some scenes could be trimmed down, but overall, this is a good version.
This is one of my favorite versions.
It's a great version.
There is another one with Alistair Sim called Scrooge. That's probably the more popular of the two, or at least it used to be. It was the one that they were always showing on TV at one point. It's a really good version too, so I thoroughly enjoy that.
So what is your favorite version?
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot for that.
No, dude, I have so many different versions. There's so many things that I like about certain episodes or certain versions of the movie and the storytelling. Like I love the musical version of Scrooge.
Oh, there's a musical. Cool.
Oh yeah, it's got. I'll look up the name has just jumped out at me, but there is a musical, quite a few musical versions of it. But wow, my favorite version. I would have to probably say, to a very large extent, this one, and then the Scrooge one with Alistair Sim. There is another version that's not exactly. Can't really say that it's A Christmas Carol, although it's got the exact same basic story in it, is Scrooged with Bill Murray.
I need to watch that. It's been a long time.
I love that version of the story. And the fact that Bill Murray did so much ad-libbing in that, especially his last monologue when he's telling people to get the Christmas feeling and spirit and what they do, brings a fucking tear to my eye every year. But this version is a nice solid version. It does go away from the main story from Dickens' writing quite a bit. It leaves a lot out. It condenses other portions of it. But I read A Christmas Carol every year. Probably the last 10 or 12 years. Well, I have to regenerate my human soul. So that helps regenerate me to be a halfway decent human being throughout the rest of the year. Let me
interject. Those of you who have never seen A Christmas Carol or read A Christmas Carol, shame on you. Go do that, then come back and get on with your life. But you must stop and
get
see
on with
this.
Your life.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. How could you not? This is one of the things you and I both know that we share an undying hatred for humanity.
Yes.
And welcome the return of our robot overlords someday.
Or aliens.
Or aliens.
I'm good with either one. Alien overlords, robot overlords. I'm pretty good with either one.
I mean, our Lord Siri will take care of us. But after watching this, I started to. It does it to me every time I watch A Christmas Carol, and it's on right what you said. It's like, you know what? I could try and be a better person, but sometimes it takes so much strength. And there's a difference. I'm not Scrooge. I don't hate fucking Christmas, and I wish everybody the best. I just don't want to deal with your ass.
Right.
Yeah.
We work retail. Here's the secret.
There you go.
We work retail. I've been working retail for quite a long time. I have done other things. I've gone here and there, and I've done other things. But I honestly think retail around the holiday season, if you are going shopping, if you're going out, this is why I love Amazon, because I do not go bother anyone for anything anymore. Almost never will I go Christmas shopping. I go online, buy it, gets sent to me. I'm good. Presents are bought. Working retail is a different type of hell during the holidays.
It's its own level.
Its own level of hell, man, between the holidays. If you are working retail, you know. I can't even imagine what a fast food restaurant is like. I mean, I used to work restaurants too, so some of them were bad, some of them were good. But like a fast food place, like if I was working at a McDonald's, I'd probably jump across the counter and attack somebody. Fuck you and your fries, motherfucker!
I damn near do it now, but that's just it. It's like we're already soured from people.
So reading A Christmas Carol every year for me, honestly, it helps revitalize my.
I get it.
Well, not all humans are bad, because then I start thinking about people that I've met throughout the year that have meant something to me or have helped me, or if not, or just when I'm really grumpy have come up and said something nice and, cheer up, Dave, and the world's not so bad kind of thing, and brought me back to reality. Because the reality is people I honestly think are basically good. I think we're animals. Don't get me wrong. We are mammals. But I think basically we're good. We see somebody hurting in pain or needing help. We'll try and help them for the most part.
Man, have I gone cynical. I would have, 2 years ago, I would have agreed with you. But after working retail through the pandemic and watching people, killed me. I'm broken. Fuck them all. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
And while I agree with you on a very large scale of that, I would have to say I still think I think a lot of people, at least in this state, are coming out of it. I think the problem is that states that are staying locked down, not letting anybody in. Like up in Canada, I can't imagine being in Canada right now and not starting a fucking riot.
Right.
I really couldn't. Then again, being locked down in your house during the winter up in Canada probably isn't bothering a whole lot of people.
How is that any different than any other time, I guess,
But I just think like through all this crap, there are good people out there doing good shit. And I got to remember that when I'm ready to strangle somebody.
Well, see, I will agree with that. I definitely agree with that, because after watching the movie, I felt better. It made me feel, it's like when I watch It's a Wonderful Life. Always feel good. It's, even though The Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life, I have seen countless times. I can't watch them every year, but man, I have seen them a lot.
Right.
It's just, it makes you feel good. And then you wonder, what is this moisture on my cheek? I'm not crying.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, fuck, you got me, you sons of bitches.
That Bill Murray in the movie Scrooge, I'm
going to watch it this year.
That last, his last big speech at the end. God, I well up every year from the first time I saw it until now. That just
still
he hits every note. And he's like, why can't we do this every day? Why can't we? And just yeah, Bill Murray, you're right.
Well, he's right. And here's the thing. It's really, and this is a very timeless and a very telling story that Dickens had written.
Oh yeah,
because it goes with any time, any body, any place. But it just, I've completely lost my train of thought on that one. But he wrote.
I was just saying how to be a better person and whatnot.
I mean,
and I think that helps.
It does. It's what you see with this is what everyday people are going through, and it's just Bob Cratchit represents all of us.
Yeah, Bob Cratchit is the everyman.
But he has such love in his heart.
Yeah, his whole family.
His whole huge family. He has nothing but love. His whole family does, and it's it's a lovely story. It's a shame that's where I was going. It's a shame that people like Ebenezer Scrooge and just a lot of people in general, and sometimes even myself, something horrible has to happen in order for us to change our ways and change our outlooks. And wouldn't it be better if we made those changes without having a traumatic event happen, like ghost visiting and showing what a horrible human being you are? This Ebenezer, this motherfucker relished being evil.
Oh yeah, he thoroughly enjoys being a bastard.
Now I have to ask something, and I didn't look it up, and I should have, but I think this actor who played Scrooge was much younger than Scrooge.
Oh yeah, he's a lot.
That looked like a bald cap.
It is, and here's the interesting thing: as he got older, he looked like this guy.
Oh no!
Here's the thing: have you ever seen Bedknobs and Broomsticks?
Yes.
There's a general that's on the land side. He only shows up like a couple of times in the movie, but he plays that general.
Oh damn!
in what is the Mary Poppins? The Admiral that lives 2 doors down?
Yeah.
That's him. That's him firing off the cannon. So if you go back and look at them like 30 years later, he looks like Ebenezer Scrooge. It's funny as hell. And I've seen him in some other things like as he got older, and I was just like, oh my God. I never saw him out of makeup like when he was young. Like, I don't know what the guy looked like when he was younger, but as he got older, he looked like the character he was playing. He wasn't all hunched over and, with the, but when you see him and he starts talking, you're like, oh my God, that's a freaking actor. That's him.
Yeah. That's one of the things that struck me right off the bat was his look, the way he was hunched over.
Oh, now, yeah. He plays that to a T.
He does. And I have to talk about the look a minute. I thought he looked like the Grinch. Long, I can see that. Skinny, had the little curled hair. And then after all these years, I realized that How the Grinch Stole Christmas is a modified Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And it's like, you dumbass, it's the same fucking story.
Without the ghost. He only had one little girl.
Yep. But it's the same thing. And that's, I guess that's what I was going back to. It's, if we could be proactive, and I don't want to get preachy and sing Kumbaya, but if we could be proactive and just be decent people.
I hate that song.
I hate it too. It's up
so no Kumbaya, folks. We're good.
No. S'mores, yes. Kumbaya.
S'mores, yes. Yes, with the s'mores.
Yes, s'mores. No kumbaya.
S'mores are positive. No, I know what you mean, though. It's like, and it takes me a long time to be this nice of a person that anyone sees now. Honestly, stop laughing, Scott.
It's because I know you.
See? And I'm a miserable SOB. 10 or 15 years ago. 10 or 15 years ago, I was vicious. I was just really miserable.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't want to know me when I was in my 20s.
I can relate. 10, 15 years ago, I was a miserable fuck and nobody wanted to be around me either. It took some realizing that, well, hey, I work retail.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you just have to, that's funny. Yeah, I literally read this book every year just to try and recharge my humanity a little bit.
That's great.
It's one of the few books that can do it. There's another movie that if anybody's out there, if you've ever heard of a guy, I've mentioned him here before, Terry Pratchett. He wrote The Hogfather. The Hogfather is basically a Christmas story in that universe that he created, the Discworld. And Death has to take over the reins of being the Hogfather while they're looking to get him back. Long story, but it is a great, great story. It's another story that I watch every year, and I just like, oh my God, this is so good. And when because Death is the guy who comes in and takes your mortal soul, slices it and then sends you off. But he doesn't know humans. And he's trying to get to learn humans. And it's just a really good story. I would definitely recommend Hogfather if anybody's out there interested in a good Christmas movie. A Christmas Carol, for me, though, still takes the cake. I mean, it's the cat's meow for me. I will sit there and I will read it and I will watch any version of it that I can find. There are a lot of trash versions out there. There's some stuff. I'm sure. You see people that have tried. I bought one version. I'm not going to name it exactly, but it was like a Christmas Carol, and they did everything in one house. It was a nice big house, but you could tell it was all being done in one house.
In the same house.
Yeah, and the mood wasn't set because all the lights were bright. It was always bright.
And easier to light if you don't have to change anything.
Yeah, and I'm just shaking my head like, okay, you're supposed to be in Ebenezer Scrooge's office, and it's bright.
Obviously the house. Yeah, it wouldn't be bright. It'd be dark.
Exactly. There's just a lot wrong with it setup wise. But they tried. So I'll give them that. They tried. The basic story is there. But the musical version had Albert Finney in it, is who I was trying to think of. If you've never seen oh my God, you want to talk about wanting to cry? Albert Finney will get you to cry at one point in this movie.
I will have to look that up.
You've got to watch it. And then there's the dance scene on a coffin that is my favorite dance scene in any movie, just about, next to next to the barn raising in Seven Brides to Seven Brothers.
Which is a hell of a choreographer's nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it's hard to pronounce, too.
Yes, it is. So let me have some more of my pronunciation juice.
Pronunciation juice. But as far as, I don't. Hi, girl.
I will say one of the things that was missing from this version. There it is. It's a Wonderful Life. What else you got hiding there? For those of you listening, Dave is showing his Christmas carols, and the Muppet Christmas Carol still reigns supreme to me.
Hold on, this is a pretty good one. This was not as good as I thought it was going to be. Patrick Stewart's A Christmas Carol.
I've seen that. It's been a while.
It's good, but not as good as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. I just feel like they missed something. I don't know what. Yeah. I've never been able to put my finger on it. This is another good one that I watched quite a few times. This is one we should maybe think about reviewing, just doing an extra review.
Oh, sure.
A Christmas in Connecticut.
Never seen it.
It's got Barbara Stanwyck in it and Sidney Greenstreet.
Okay. I know that name.
Barbara Stanwyck, if anybody doesn't know who Barbara Stanwyck is, she basically played a femme fatale for most of her career. Occasionally, she would step out of her femme fatale into a comedy. And that broad has got comedy chops like nobody.
There went one female listener, Dave.
No. That is a compliment. That, I want everybody to realize
No, it's that broad.
That broad. She was the first one to explain to her, describe herself as a broad. So I'm not.
It just struck me as funny as the way he's there, that broad over there.
Dame? Chick? I don't know. She was a great actress. But this one here is another really good one.
Oh, yeah.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I have all kinds of. Oh, wait. Here's one that is a Christmas movie that is very, what's the word? Controversial.
Okay. Yes, it's a Christmas movie. I will agree. Die Hard.
I think it's a Christmas movie, too.
It is.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't care what anybody says.
So is Gremlins.
Gremlins is definitely a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. That's all there is to it.
This is a pretty good one too. If you're like old like me and Scott, and you grew up watching like made for TV movies, it's called Homecoming.
Oh yeah.
And it's the what do they call that? What is that name of that stupid family? Waltons. The Waltons movie, Waltons. Homecoming. It's a Christmas movie. This was made for TV with Frederick March and Basil Rathbone. It's another version of A Christmas Carol. It was made for TV. And Basil Rathbone was in a couple of different versions of A Christmas Carol. One is pretty good that I have, and one is really sucky. One is just horrible. The musical in it is just horrible. But the funny thing is, I never remember which is which. I'm going to have to mark them.
Oh, no.
Because one's really pretty good, limited. It was live. It was back when they would do live TV. So they had the live play going on. And it's really just bad. It's just bad. The singing in it, the songs in it are just so bad. But then there's another one that he's in that's actually kind of good. So I just never remember which it is. And then I got a whole bunch of other ones in there too. So I got an entire box of nothing but Christmas movies and Christmas cartoons.
Yeah. And one of those is What's Up Next.
Yeah. That's That was going to be the Christmas Vacation, correct?
Yes.
That's what we're doing next?
Christmas Vacation, a fucking classic.
Yeah.
Shitter's full, Clark.
Shitter's full.
Fucking love it. Have you seen, not to go too far off, but have you seen the latest Vacation, the one they did that is like supposed to be
the sun?
Yeah.
No.
I think it's on HBO. I haven't watched it, but I'm curious about it.
I have not seen it, and I think the biggest put off for me was that it wasn't not Neil Patrick Harris. That's not
Anthony
the guy.
Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall. I knew he had three names. Anthony Michael Hall. Now, see, if Anthony Michael Hall would have came back and did it, I'd have watched it. I'd been like, oh, that's hysterical. For whatever reason, they maybe didn't ask him, or he just wasn't interested. I don't know. But I like a couple of the vacation movies. The first National Lampoon's Family Vacation, right? Where the grandmothers, the dead grandmothers on top of the roof. That's hysterical.
Yeah.
But Christmas movies in general kind of reignite me as trying to be back to being a good human being. I fail throughout the year. I mean, as you know, Scott,
don't we all, man? Don't we all?
You've witnessed my failure.
Yes, personally. Yes.
He's going down, folks. He's going down. Clear the way.
Oh yeah. So this particular version is I highly recommend it. My favorite is the Muppet version. Watching this, I'm playing the scenes how the Muppets did it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, but, you know what? I would have to put this one right up here with the Muppet one up.
It's good, man. It's really good. It cracked me up that Ebenezer, to me, reminded me of the Grinch, and the way he looked, the way he walked, the way everything is like.
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss was watching.
I've seen some original art years ago from the book, because he actually had drawings and everything done of this, and it was really cool. I mean, they matched him up pretty close to the book's character, so I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is.
There is another movie that just came out a few years ago called The Man Who Invented Christmas, and it's about Dickens writing A Christmas Carol.
Oh.
It's pretty good, and I forgot the British actor's name, but I'm sure it's not following any kind of truth for him, but it's a really good story. That's another one I would recommend watching, because it gets you into the character's head a little bit, and he's sitting there talking to the characters where he's writing the book. While he's writing the manuscript, he's trying to come up with Scrooge's name, and he finally comes up with it, and then Scrooge is sitting behind him talking to him. And it's just really good. It's like that's how a lot of writers write. They just talk to the character.
One of the version. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say one of. I'm sorry. No, you wait. No.
You go.
All right. Okay, I'll go. One of the things that really surprised me and I found really cool is this is 1932, and they did some stuff in camera that I am racking my brain on how they did, because the scene where they're sliding on the ice, it's clear when he's got Tiny Tim on his back, they are not sliding on the ice.
Right.
And when he and his future wife are sliding, they're not. And it's like there wasn't green screen, but they did something really weird with the freaking camera, or to make it look like people were sliding.
Right.
It was off enough for me to notice, but also when I noticed is that, holy shit, 1932, impressive.
And it's probably something super easy. It's probably something that they did all the time back in 1932. And somebody today would have to sit there and go, how the hell are we going to do this?
Well, and that's just it. When you see Jacob Marley show up, I know how to do it on my laptop right here. I can make you a ghost instantly right now in this. Not a problem.
I was going to ask you about that. How did you like that special effect?
That was really cool, because I can't figure out how the hell it's done when it's on film. But let me put it in a computer. I can do it.
That's better than the 1955 version with Alistair Sim. That ghost showing up. Now, the ghost is a little bit better, but the special effect is better in 1932.
It was amazing, because I saw that. It's like, okay, I know they figured some shit out, but since I have only done editing on a computer, I've never done editing with film. Yeah, I've only done it digitally. Right. So I'm always amazed when I watch a movie with some amazing edits and cuts that had been done on film, and it's like, holy shit, what an art form, because now you got your damn hands on it. I mean, you do digitally, it's just different tools, but holy crap.
And it had to be done in camera. I'm assuming that it had to be done in camera. And the only thing I can come up with is some kind of mirror effect.
I don't know.
To get him to be transparent.
Yeah, because now digitally it's done in layers.
Yeah.
And you just adjust the opacity. Yeah.
But they didn't. You couldn't soften opacity back then. And if you
So
could, I don't know how the hell you did it.
Well, that's just it. And you nailed it. People today are looking like, how the hell did they do that? But it was something really simple then.
And a lot of people will look at that effect and go, what are you guys getting all hot and horny over that for? Because it was probably done in camera.
Yeah.
And there was a mirror, but how did they make him transparent? Like you said, nowadays, a kid could figure it out. It's a
walk in the park.
Hell, I could probably figure out how to do it
you could.
with the right equipment, computer program. But back then, if you and I had to shoot something like this now on a camera and they said, you can't do it digitally, figure it out.
Know what to do.
We'd be trying all sorts of tricks. We'd be trying to figure something out. I'd be going to the library and looking up, how did they do this? Typey. I don't know.
Yes.
But that's all you can do. And I know they did that kind of thing a lot back in the 30s and 40s. They would use a lot of mirrors. They would use a lot of like shifting walls. Mm-hmm. While they were doing something, you could see the one guy in the foreground, and they would actually block off part of the film, and then they'd shoot the other guy. Then they'd block off the film that they just shot and open up the other side and shoot that with whoever was supposed to be there. And it always works, but they always had something down the center when they did something like that. There was always like a pipe or something in the way, so you wouldn't see the split. This, I saw maybe a little bit of a box on one point, but it's probably because it's so cleaned up.
It is cleaned up, but there is one point where Jacob Marley's hand is solid. He reaches out his hand, and it almost like it goes from transparent, and as it passes a plane, it is solid, and it's there for about a second.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's very quick. It's like, what? Wait a minute. I had to back it up and see that. So I don't know how they did it. It's amazing. And yes, people listen to us like, what are you talking about? I've seen better effects in Avengers. Yeah, you have.
Right.
But this is 1932.
1932, no computers.
Yeah.
I mean, the closest thing they had to a computer was a freaking Abacus.
Yeah.
A little red, yellow, green. I don't know.
I am really loving watching these old movies at the beginning of cinema because you're seeing a lot of experimentation. You're seeing things being done that are just running off pure imagination and artistic drive to make something. And it's
right.
I love it. I love seeing it. What amazes me is I can hear this movie. I hear everything. I watch some new movies now. The sound is recorded horribly or the levels are way off. And it's like, I guess what I'm saying, they could get sound right in 1932.
Yeah.
You can get it right in 2021. I'm just saying. And now watch, this podcast is going to have all kinds of fucking sound issues and everything else. And it's like, what's that asshole talking about? I just jinxed it.
Hit record.
We're recording.
We didn't. I'm kidding.
Yeah. But I mean, there's just it. It's like, great. This is going to be the one that I'm going to have all kinds of trouble when I edit it.
Yeah, right. Dave, I can't pull your sound up. There is another version of this that takes place before this 1932 one, and I'm looking for the year on it, but let me throw on my glasses. And it's starring Seymour Hicks. And I don't see the date because that date that they have on here is wrong. But this is another one with Seymour Hicks. Now, this is done very much like a one-man play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like when the spirits show up, they don't really ever show a spirit. I think at one point, sorry, my dog is barking. At one point, they have a spirit comes in to talk to the guy, and you see his chair, and the chair kind of goes down, like somebody's sitting in it, and all he's doing is answering the ghost, like he's talking to the ghost. But you don't hear or see the ghost. It's just in his head. And I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is.
And this is the other, the stingiest man in town. I think this is the bad version that I was talking about with Basil Rathbone. If you like to hear some really, really bad music, that's a good one.
No.
And I say it's good, I mean bad.
Very cool. So,
hey, no barking in here while I'm recording.
As Dave attempts to communicate with the canines in the other room, I'll just go ahead and say that this is a really good version of this movie.
Yeah, I love this version. I really
this
do.
does bring the Christmas spirit. So screw you all, bah humbugs or whatever.
Yeah,
I enjoy this movie. It makes me feel good after I watch it. It's a short movie. It's about an hour and 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It's fast. Like I said, I would have cleaned up a few things. I didn't need all the songs in the cathedral. It's just a little long there. But other than that, it was paced well. It was acted great. Yeah. Everybody. It felt good. God damn it.
Did you realize who the Cratchit family was? At least 3 of them?
No.
It was Gene Lockhart, his wife, and I forgot her name. I want to say Betty Lockhart.
Okay, yeah, I did see them in the credits, but yeah.
And then June Lockhart.
Why are those names familiar?
For anybody who doesn't know who June Lockhart is, watch the original Lost in Space. That was the mom.
That's right.
She's the mom in Lost in Space.
There we go. Very cool.
And plus many other things she was in. But to see her as a little girl in the pigtails is just, they're like, oh my God, she was a little kid. Like, because growing up, she was always the older mom figure you see her in. And then the first time I saw her and I realized who it was, I was maybe in my mid-20s. I was like, oh my God, she was. Yeah, of course she was a little kid, you know.
They do start off small.
Yeah, they do start off small, don't they? Then they get bigger.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's all 3 of them. They're all family. They're all Lockharts.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, every bit of it was good. I highly recommend it. Any final comments on it?
I would say, watch this movie if you're a fan of Christmas. If you're just a fan of good cinema, especially like old movies, this is definitely worth a watch. I thoroughly enjoy it. And I showed a bunch of different versions of it that I have and other movies. You know, I actually recommend every one of those movies that I showed you, except I think The Stingiest Man in Town.
Unless you want some really bad music.
Unless you want some really bad music. And I'm telling you, there's a song that the Ghost of Christmas Present, I think, sings, and it just goes on forever. It's just a bad song. You're gonna have to watch it one day just to see how bad it is. It is not Star Wars Holiday Special bad.
Okay.
But it's bad.
That's nothing has dethroned it yet. Nothing has dethroned the Star Wars Holiday Christmas Special.
No, that is a must not watch.
Night of a Thousand Cats came really fucking close.
Came really, really close. Yeah, that's a bad movie. That's just a bad movie.
Oh my God. But no, this was good. So we're going to continue on keeping with the classics with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And man, who doesn't love that? I'm enjoying watching these. I don't watch a lot of Christmas movies.
Right.
So I'm digging this. I'm seeing the ones I like and seeing something new. And we have a Christmas Story coming up as well.
I'm glad you enjoyed this one.
This was good.
I don't think you watch a whole lot of old movies.
Unless
I force them on you.
Well, here's the funny thing. I don't watch a lot of movies, period, by some people's standards.
Right.
I've watched more movies since we started this podcast because now I'm watching one movie a week, and that used to be maybe once a month, once every 2 months.
Really? You used to watch series or something or read?
No, would hardly ever watch TV.
Right. I
play video games.
Oh, okay. So you're creative.
Yeah. No,
I'm sorry. There's a gamer out there going, I'm going to kill that guy when I see him. It's okay. I can talk like that to Scott, and he does the same thing to me. It's okay.
Exactly. No, so no, I get most of my entertainment and most of my to me, video games are like watching a movie, watching a long series, because some of these stories are now epic. That's going to take you 40, 80 hours, 100 hours plus just to get the whole story. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's just a different form of media. But I do love movies. But man, I really don't watch that many. But this podcast has definitely turned me on to some great ones and some shit ones too.
Yeah. We've got some real stinkers in here, folks. No lie. I thought we started off with a bang, though. Whenever we started the show, the series that we're doing, with coffee, I think we started off with a bang. We start off really good.
Nice shotgun blast. Yeah. Right to the head.
Right to the head.
Yeah. Here's the thing about our first episode. My wife, Janine, still laughs about it because we cut to the clip. We say her favorite weapon's a shotgun, and it cuts to a clip of Pam Grier blowing this guy's head off, right. And it cuts right back to Dave saying, "Fantastic." It's like boom, fantastic. It's the best part of the show. It's like I laugh every time I think of that episode. Fantastic.
You hit the target. What do you want?
Yeah.
It's not like the guy didn't deserve it. but with that kind of Christmas attitude, mister, you're getting coal in your stocking. But,
exactly.
But exactly. No, this movie's really good. I recommend if you can find it, buy it, get it.
HBO Max.
The 1955 version is really good. Oh, yeah, it is on HBO Max. I watched it on there last night. First time in years that it was that clear.
I know. That's one of the things I've noticed. It seems like a lot of these movies have been on HBO Max have been really cleaned up.
Yeah, very
and that thing looked great.
Like when we watched Casablanca and what else did we watch? Maltese Falcon. They cleaned them up really, really good. And I have good versions of them on my DVD.
Right.
But it's like somebody went in and cleaned them up even more. Now, I mean, they are crisp.
They're crystal clear.
Clear. Oh, so nice. So nice to look at.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I would say, by golly, watch it. If you're starting to think, humanity really sucks, watch it.
I needed to watch this movie.
Grab the book. The book is short. The book is fairly thin. It's an easy read. Get the book. It's a good insight into Dickens, or a beginning if you don't read a lot of Dickens. I know he got kind of really depressing towards the end of his life, but this is a really, really good story. It's basically what started what we know as Christmas, how we celebrate Christmas in the Western world. I think what he did is just took a bunch of different stuff from other parts of the world that were Western and put them into his story. And that's what we do for Christmas now. We got the tree, we get the presents, we go see family, we go, we take a day off a lot of people do, not everyone, but a lot of people do. They take a day off, they relax, they spend some time with friends and family, the ones that they love. And I'm going to go a little touchy-feely here. I think it's needed. I do think you need to talk to friends and family during the holidays, especially because you get out there. Sometimes you get out there and you forget there's somebody who cares about you, somebody you can talk to.
Yeah.
I have Scott at least once a week. Yeah, I want to bitch. I want to dump on him. He dumps. I dump on him. He dumps on me. We're fine. Okay, we're good till next week. Let's go. So
Dave and I work for the same company and know a lot of the same people. We just don't work in the same place.
Right. Thank God, because we would have both been fired or arrested.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, fired and arrested.
Both.
And drug out in cuffs.
It's better we're separated by the miles and a video screen.
I'm telling you, they're going to get somebody tonight. You guys got to stop tying up your management crew. What? One time.
Yeah. You won't let me forget it. But
no, I got a good boss. I'm happy with my boss.
Yeah.
I can't.
Good for you. I'm jealous.
Oh, my shirt. Star Wars reference.
Oh, here it is. Oh, that's perfect. I'm wearing my
Baby Yoda shirt today. My Baby Yoda Christmas shirt. Nothing says Merry Christmas like Baby Yoda in a Christmas hat.
Very cool. Very cool. So next week, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and then we will hit the end of the year, and you will be treated with Dave and I rambling on forever about every freaking review for the past year.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't know we were going to do an annual review, but I'm up for it.
I didn't either till just now. Surprise, Dave! We're doing an annual review.
We'll do it a little bit shorter than we did last year.
We will. We won't talk about every single movie, but just probably our faves.
Yeah, that'll work.
Because we are up to 70 plus episodes right now, so it's wow.
I'm not even sure what number this is going to be. Where you just posted, I think 72.
I think I posted 72, 73. I don't know. So this is probably 76 or 77.
So
somewhere.
We're going. You folks are starting to watch, and we appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button, the follow button, the share button. go ahead and write us a comment. Tell us what you think about Christmas. I mean, seriously, keep it clean and no porn sites, but let us know what you think about. I don't understand the porn sites.
I don't either because it's Chinese and I can't read it.
Yeah, you're just assuming that it's a porn site. And they may be saying we're the greatest thing in the world. You're like, no, I've followed them. I follow every one of those links to make sure. It was pretty obvious because it had pictures with it. Oh, no. Get rid of those, baby. That's a bad idea. But if you folks want to talk about Christmas or anything else, I don't know.
Absolutely. So until next week, have a good night, week, day, Christmas. Whatever. Later.
Bye.